All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back. So today I'm doing my dealer's route, and that's it. It's kind of like a day off, but I'm giving my wife a day off. She does my dealer's route for me, and every now and then I just want to give her a day off. I'm gonna do it for her. So that's all I'm doing, but I'm gonna use this video to do my final Dolly Standoff video. So this is the last video I will do on the standoff itself, and I will let you know that it is not over. It's actually far from over. So I'm just gonna update you, give you all the information that I found out, and I'm really glad I did this. This is gonna be very beneficial, especially for people that don't know anything about Dolly. Those of you that's getting into this business, this is valuable information. So this is what motivated me to do all the work that I did. So anyways, I'm not gonna show you this route. I'm about to start it right now, and it should only take about an hour. And then I'll do my Dolly Standoff final video. All right, you guys, I just finished that route. I hope you guys can hear me well. I don't plan on being long on this, so I'm gonna get right to the point. As you guys know, I've been on a Dolly Standoff, and that is 100% optional. I decided to share that information. I could have got screwed over and not shared anything about it, but that's a disservice to you. There's a lot of you guys that are interested in these gig apps, and that's what I do. I do gig apps, and I tell you my real life experience, so I cannot leave this out. So this is a real experience, and that's why I'm sharing it, and I'm not gonna go in detail on it because I already did. So I did a part 1, I did a part 2, and I did a part 3. And in all 3 of those videos, I laid it out. I told you exactly what happened, right? I got a penalty for a no-show, a helper no-show, which I have a assistant no-show. My wife is my assistant, and on that job, it was based on a survey. So the customer filled out a survey. I don't know what the survey says, but apparently this customer wrote something. I think they put more than what they normally put. And Dolly Compliance emailed me and said that I got penalized for a assistant no-show based on a survey. That's the answer. And they have a system in place for that. You can refute a penalty. You can refute it. That's what it says on their website. I showed you guys all this. I'm not going to show you. I showed you guys all this in part 1, 2, and 3. I went through the steps that they provided to dispute it because my wife actually was there. And I laid out how I did not violate their policy. A lot of people are adding to the policy and trying to say that my wife has to go inside the residence with me. That is not what the policy says. And I showed you guys in their terms that Dolly, all they do is connect you with a customer. They're the middleman. That's their job. It's your business. You do the delivery how you see fit. I showed you guys the policy. I showed you the policy. I showed you all the discrepancies of their terms, right? They say that you can have an assistant and you can do the delivery however you see fit. The policy does not require a helper to go with you inside a residence. They just have to help with the delivery. That's it. You cannot add to that. Anyways, not going to spend a lot of time on that. I laid all that out. I told you guys the reason behind the standoff. I told you guys I've been screwed by Dolly so many times. And it's more than just the money. I have issues with stairs, right? There's a lot of orders that come out and I accept it, right? That's a contract. I agree to what it says on my screen. If it says no stairs, I'm not expected to do any stairs. I get to the customer's residence, I got to go up 3 flights of stairs. Dolly's giving me a hard time. They're not they used to add it. They used to add the stairs and the pay would go up. All of a sudden, now you can't add stairs. And they keep changing what a flight of steps is, all that stuff. Not going to waste time on that. I already explained all that. That is a huge discrepancy, and nobody in business, nobody that does deliveries would think that that's right. If you do think that's okay, you're in the wrong business. I'm telling you right now. So there's nobody in the world that I know that would accept a job that says no stairs, and then you get there and you got to go up 3 flights of stairs and you're not expected to get paid for that. That's a huge discrepancy. Most of you guys just walk away. You get screwed over like that and you just walk away from the company and you don't do anything. So there will never be a change. So that's just one of many issues. I've had issues with pay. I've had issues with customer support. I've had issues with, a customer puts 3 items and I get there and it's 10 items. Like, it's just out of control. And the whole point of it, what I'm finding out is that it all falls on the customer. It's all about consumer protection. And technically they don't care about the customer either, but they will bend over backwards for a customer and do not care about the drivers at all. I put in part 3, I kind of told you what I did already. And the customer was cooperative with me. They told me what happened and they understood the discrepancy. And it was based on the survey. The customer didn't tell me what they actually put, and they don't have to, but I learned that the survey is what caused this. The customer never went outside to see my partner that helped me unload. So that's how it all started. I went through the steps, the process, and I emailed Dolly Compliance, and I already showed you guys what happened. It's all in the videos. Everything that happened. I showed you their response. I even talked to customer support over the phone, recorded it. You can hear everything they said. That was their answer to me. So I decided to take it a step further. So I got legal advice. Legal advice was free. It's somebody that I know that's in legal. I haven't spent a penny. The only money I spent was a certified letter. I sent a certified letter to Dolly. I sent a letter to the legal team. I sent a letter to the higher ups in their corporate office. That's the only money I spent. Certified letter. I explained what happened. I told them I haven't had a resolution. There's been 0 resolution. I'm asking to speak to somebody in charge, a manager, someone that is in charge of these penalties. 0 response. I sent this certified letter. I don't know the exact date. If I have it, I'll show you. This is a certified letter. I did that based on legal advice. That's the best way to contact someone. I got the name of the person that received it. It was received. What they did with it, I have no idea. For all I know, they may have put it in the shredder. I have no idea. I've tried many times to get in touch with someone so I can fairly dispute this penalty. That's all I want. I just want to talk to someone, not through email, because they never respond to emails, and work out this penalty, right? So this was back in February. I had a Dolly, and it was a Dolly assigned to me, and they took it away from me. It says, thank you for scheduling Dolly, and the Dolly number. Unfortunately, the store has specifically requested a different helper for this delivery. I thought you couldn't do that because apparently they told Best Buy that they can't select a specific helper. So again, it's all kind of discrepancies going on with this company. As a result, we will need to remove you from this job. Please rest assured that this will not impact your standing and no penalties will be applied. We understand this may be disappointing and we truly appreciate your understanding. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help. Now, when you write something like that, you have to mean it. You can't say that and not mean it. Do they really say, if you have any concerns and don't hesitate to reach out and we're here to help, I want to help you? Is that what they really mean? Absolutely not. That is a cut and paste paragraph. I'm gonna prove this to you. So I got the name of this person. And I decided, I wasn't mad about them taking it away. I didn't really care because I'm used to that. They do stuff like that. I'm used to that. Again, I've said this before. The only relationship that I have with Dolly is the money. That's it. The money, that's it. Everyone that does this type of work, you accept the job based on the pay. I don't know anyone that just does a job just to do it. It has to make sense. So Dolly is one of the best paying apps in my market. It's not the best, but it's one of the best paying. I get the most work from them, and that's the relationship. I can deal with the getting screwed over with the stairs and doing more items than you're supposed to, all that stuff, pay issues. I've been dealing with that. But once they take money away unjustifiably, I can't continue working for that company like that. Something has to be done. That's out of control. So I reached out to this person and I said hello, and I said their name. This is right after I got this email. I said, can you help me? I have been ignored regarding a penalty that I was issued for an assistant no-show. Dolly took $125, which is insane, from me, and I have reached out to compliance with no help. I sent a certified letter to corporate with no response. The whole thing is a misunderstanding, but for some reason, I am not giving an opportunity to defend myself against a false allegation from a customer survey. Can you help me or direct me to someone that can actually investigate and help me? Support told me someone from compliance would reach out, and it's been 2 weeks now and no response. Please help. Now, I think that's an honest email. I'm not asking for too much. I think it's reasonable for me to make that request, and someone should reach out to me. Like, I just don't understand what type of company would not help someone that sent an email like that. So I get a response. It says, thanks for reaching out. We are truly sorry for the inconvenience caused. Regrettably, we have limited information regarding that. You should have received an email at your registered email address concerning the warning from the compliance team. Please refer to that email for further assistance. Let us know if there's anything we can do to assist. So this is the runaround that you get. So I showed you guys part 1, part 2, part 3. I showed you guys the response that I got from Dolly Compliance. So they're saying refer to that. You cannot communicate with these people through email. Let me just finish this. Let me show you what happened. So I said, I did. The person from the email never responds. That's why I'm having to write a letter, because it's always the same message. We can't help you. Respond to the email. I responded to the email and I'm ignored. That's the issue. Who can actually help me? A person I could talk to or email directly. So I'm letting them know that doesn't work. I tried that. I tried the emails. It doesn't work. Nobody gets back to me. Well, guess what? That's the last email. I sent that email and the person did not respond to that email. They did not respond back. So here's what I learned through this process. And the process is not over. I am still, to this day, trying to reach anybody. And I'm going to tell you what my goal is at the end of this. So the threat of lawsuit is something that is used to get a company's attention. Obviously, I'm just a driver. They've already established they don't care about a driver. I'm expendable. The only legal action, this is based on my legal advice. I really want to thank that person for helping me for free. They didn't charge me anything. So the best action that I could take based on legal advice is a class action lawsuit. That's what was explained to me. That is the best way to get a company that size attention and get them to actually listen to you. If you reach out, if you have an issue like mine and you reach out on your own through email, even certified letters, they're just going to ignore you. If you have the threat of a class action lawsuit where you have hundreds, if not thousands of drivers suing for whatever the reason is, you will get a response, guaranteed. So that is practically impossible for me because there's not enough people that will cooperate with this type of lawsuit. There are people that have been screwed over just like me or even worse. And I'm sure they would love to join a class action lawsuit, but you would need evidence. You would need proof. Most people don't keep the proof and the evidence. I have all mine. I saved everything. So I have all the proof, all the evidence. It will be a very, very long process. We're talking about years to file a class action lawsuit like that. That is the best chance of getting their attention and actually winning. So I do understand that. The whole purpose, the thread of the lawsuit was to get their attention. Obviously, that doesn't work. So I'm pretty much back to square one. I just cannot get any help at all. No explanation, no help. I have a lot of issues and complaints and discrepancies with the terms, everything. They don't care. They do not care. And this is what I realized through this process. I've learned that, and this is important for you to know. This company, Dolly Helper app, it is a self-initiated and self-run business, meaning that they set up a system that runs itself. So they have a lot of, I don't know the term, but people that don't live in the US, they kind of contract like third-party company to do customer support, and their role is to help what they can, right? If you need to update a Dolly or you can't close it out, stuff like that. But when it comes to a specific complaint, they don't have a way to help you. And I've learned that they don't have any supervision. There's no one that oversees. There's no oversight in all the departments. So Dolly Compliance, their job is to enforce penalties. Now they have verbiage in their terms, and when they send you the warning or the penalty, it'll say you can dispute it within 24 hours. Respond to this email. I did that. Most of the time, you don't get farther than that. So they'll respond, but their response is not actually helping you. They don't give you an opportunity to explain what happened and to fight it. There's no way to do that. So once you don't give up, like I did, I continued to email and say, no, that's not right. You know, this is what actually happened. This is wrong. They're trained to ignore you. I've literally went through that multiple times. I've realized that once a driver is persistent and says, no, this is wrong, like y'all took my money for no reason, they're trained to ignore you. And they do that because most people will just go away. Most drivers will not continue fighting and arguing, and they'll just go away, or they'll just let it go. But that's not the right attitude you should have. You could do that, and that's fine, but that's the reason why they get away with this, is because everyone does that. So I'm not letting it go. I'm still fighting, and I'm not going to stop until I actually reach someone. I need to talk to someone from Dolly, the company, corporate. That's my goal, because there's a lot of discrepancies, and I'm not the only one dealing with this. I guarantee it. A lot of the verbiage that they put, it's just cut and paste. They don't mean it. Okay, it doesn't mean that they actually want to help you, or you actually can refute a penalty. You can't. That's just writing. When you actually try to go through that process, it doesn't work. Why? There's no oversight. So those emails that I sent, there's no manager or someone in charge that actually will look at it and see that and respond to it and say, wait a minute, who is this person trying to reach us? Let's reach out to him. They don't have that. It's self-initiated. It's a self-running software. So the app runs itself. You have Dolly support, which they only can do so much. Dolly Compliance, their job is to penalize you. And if you try to fight it, they try to prevent you from fighting it. And if you continue to fight, they just ignore you. That's their job. They don't have any way to get in touch with anybody above them. So if you try to reach someone above Dolly Compliance, you can't. There's no one to talk to or reach out to. So this video is getting long. I could go on for literally an hour. I hope you guys understand my point. If you don't, that's fine. I know a lot of people don't agree with me fighting back. That's why I make my own decisions. So I guarantee if I have some type of success, a lot of people will benefit from what I'm doing. So here's my goal. I don't need Dolly. They need us as drivers. They need drivers. Some people are in desperate situations where they don't care how much they get screwed over. They need the money. They're going to do the job. There's nothing I can do about that. There are some people in my position, I don't have to have Dolly. I can do exactly what Dolly's doing, but for myself, which that's something that I'm doing and working on. Companies like Dispatch is like the standard. They're one of the best and most loyal companies that actually support drivers. And not everyone can say that, but I can say that 100%. They have a system where you can get help when you need it. You can reach out to someone. It's not impossible to reach out to someone. It's not impossible to deal with a dispute. Like, they're the standard. So anyways, the whole point is, the reason I'm doing this is I actually like Dolly. Dolly is number one in my market. I did a video on that. They're number one. And again, I can't make a company good. I can't make a company be loyal to drivers. I can't control that. But if the company is helping my business, right, their job is to connect me with customers and pay me, right? That's it. That's their job. If they're doing that and they're doing it better than any other company, right, I get the most work from them, I make the most money from them, that's the relationship we have. When it comes to support, I just have to deal with it. I can't, they're their own company, I'm my own company. They have their own way of doing things and values and morals, and I have mine. Nothing I can do about that. But once they cut into my pay, right, like their bad ethics and bad business is now affecting my pay, now I have a problem. That's a big problem. And I think anybody with any sense would understand that and know that. So Dolly is self-run. There is no oversight. That's the most important thing that I found out, that I realized there is no oversight. There is no one that actually cares about driver needs and complaints. No one. And I've expressed my complaints many times. I've told them about the issue with stairs. I told them about the issue with pay. I told them about the issue with customers not being honest, customers taking advantage of drivers. There is no customer accountability. Zero. If I accept a job and the job said no stairs, but I got to go up 3 flights of stairs, and I relist it, or I tell Dolly support, I don't want to do this unless you add the stairs and extra pay for that. If I relist it, they're going to get penalized. They're going to penalize you, even though I did nothing wrong. A lot of you guys have great ideas. These are things that Dolly should consider. A customer has to be held accountable. You cannot allow a customer to do whatever they want. That's the issue. That is the issue. And the app allows the customer, it can be fixed. Basically, these things can be fixed if the company cared. That's the point. They don't care. I've realized that 100%. They don't care. This is my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal, and some of y'all probably gonna laugh at this, but I'm dead serious. This is how much I like Dolly. I want to represent drivers. That's my goal. That's when if I actually get to reach out to someone, I want to represent drivers. I want to be similar to how Lamar is with dispatch. I want to be the guy that can take the complaints, whatever issues drivers have in the markets. I want to be able to put that data together and submit it to them and look for a resolution. So, like an example, there's orders that come out and the customer doesn't put a photo of what it could be a moving job, and there's no photos. That's an issue. That's something that I would take to them and say, look, we need to make sure that customers, you must upload a photo, at least one, so the driver has an idea of what he's doing. Like, that should be mandatory. Stairs. When it comes to stairs, the customer must sign. If they put no stairs, they have to check a box that says this information is, there's no false information. And if it is false, like the subscriber said, you're going to get penalized. If the driver gets there and you put no stairs and they get there and they got to go up 3 flights of stairs, you're going to pay. This is the fee for providing false information. I don't care if the store did it or the customer did. Whoever the mistake falls on, they have to pay. It's real simple, stuff like that. If a customer books a job and says there's 3 items to move, and then the driver gets there and it's 12 items to move, the customer is going to be charged a rebooking fee. Just like that person. I love that idea. You're going to get charged a rebooking fee. $50. Make it high. That, I promise you, the issues that drivers have won't happen anymore. If Dolly starts holding customers accountable and force them to provide accurate information, we won't have these problems. You hit them in the pocket. You agree that if this information is false, you will pay this fee, and they have to sign it or check mark that box. Dolly collects the credit card. They got a hold on the card, so whatever fees, they already got it. It's a real easy fix for a lot of this stuff, but they just don't care. Like, these are valid complaints, and anybody that works Dolly, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dolly surprises, I hate those. You have no idea. And then I'll even message the customer, hey, can you upload a photo? And they always make excuses. And they do that on purpose because they know if they upload a photo of what the item is, nobody's going to do it because it's too big and bulky or whatever. So they're not going to upload a photo for that reason. That is very, very deceptive. And Dolly allows them to do that. These are just a few of the complaints. Like, there's a whole list, but I'm not going to go through it. So anyways, to end this, it's not about the $125. It's about principle. It's about helping this company. You know, Dolly, I don't look at Dolly as like I need them. They need me. If every single driver on the Dolly platform stopped doing deliveries, Dolly would make $0. Customers could book all the jobs they want to. They don't get a penny until we actually do the job. That's how much power you have. But again, everybody's different. Some people don't care. They don't care about even this complaint that I have. They don't care. I get it. I understand that. But again, if there are improvements, it's on the back of somebody. Somebody has to do what I'm doing. If nobody does this, it'll never change. So that's my fight. That's what I'm doing. And if more people, you know, let the company know about these issues, eventually it's going to make it to somebody's ear. So anyway, that's the whole point of this. I don't care about the $125. You know, I could make that on one job. It's not about that. It's ignorant to think that it's about that. It's way more than that. And most people with any sense knows that. So this is for not just for me. This is for you. This is for everyone on the Dolly platform. That's who I'm thinking about when I'm doing all this. So anyways, that's it. The Dolly standoff is not over, but this is going to be my last video talking about it. If there is any updates, I will let you know. But that's my goal. My goal is not only do I want to find a resolution, I want to resolve my complaint. And I want to represent drivers. I want them to assign me as the person that is kind of like the voice for drivers. You know, that's what I want. That's my goal. That's how much I like the Dolly platform. I really think it has potential. They're absolutely crushing it out here. They have so many companies and clients and people that use it. It's crazy out here. And there's so many jobs that I don't even do. Like, I have these power-ups. If you guys didn't know, the more Dollies you do, you get power-ups. And power-ups are basically like, it gives you the edge over other people. You're going to get if you use a power-up, you're going to get the job over. If 10 people put in for a job and you use a power-up, you're going to get it. But you have to do a lot of Dollies. That means you have to do a ton of Dollies to get these power-ups. Like, that's how much I do Dollies. I do it all the time. Not just refrigerators. I'm doing moving jobs. I'm doing, container store. When a customer books a Dolly, you know, on Facebook Marketplace, they bought a sofa. Like, these are the jobs I'm doing. And it's crazy out here. A ton of work. So I love the platform. Their job is to connect me to the customer. That's it. After that, they need to step back and let us do our job. And these are the things that I want to bring up. There's a lot of things that I want to share with that company, but they're not willing to listen. Because why? The money's coming in. People are doing the jobs, and if someone gets screwed over, they walk away. So I hope this helped a little bit. All the evidence is there. All you gotta do is watch the videos I already posted. I know they're long, but I put all the detailed information in those videos, so I'm not going to repeat it. It's all in there. I showed you firsthand, undeniable evidence of how you cannot get support. They don't help you. They don't care. So, all right, man. I'm done with the dollar. I'm actually glad I'm done with that. Get that video out the way because I got so much great, exciting announcements and information coming. I cannot wait. I'm not worried about gig apps. I'm focused on my business. That's what it's about. And I got some crazy announcements. So anyway, that's it, man. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.